So what happens next? They haul the guy off to first class and sit on him or whatever. The plane lands. So what happens now, Kurt?
Okay, the plane lands, and I'm expecting an emergency evacuation, but the FBI apparently had different plans and told all of us to sit down and shut up and you're not getting off the plane. And we sat there for 20 minutes on the runway.
I mean, there could have been bombs on the plane, but...
Oh, sure. There could have been the fire smoldering, burning the cargo area, or who knows what.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not too bright by the FBI, and I told them this actually to their face, because I'm kind of irritated that they did that and risked my life further on this day, and I'm still irritated about it.
And the FBI, of course, was waiting there for you guys immediately when the plane landed.
They came on right away, so yeah, I guess I would take it.
So, because you're 20 minutes out, you said, and then the plane lands.
No, we're 10 minutes out.
10 minutes out. So 10 minutes. If, let's just say, for the sake of argument, if the pilot immediately got to the tower, radioed in that there was an incident 10 minutes, and then the plane lands 10 minutes later, the FBI are already there.
Right.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that was clarified. Now what happens? So you're on the plane, Kurt, and now finally after 20 minutes, a half hour of keeping you on the plane, they let you off.
20 minutes, just to be clear.
Okay, 20 minutes, and you go off, and where do they take you, and what happens next?
Okay, well, first of all, they walked off the terrorist off the plane. He left first. And as he was walking off, he stood in one of the aisles for about 10 seconds, and I got a good look at him. And that's when I made the connection between first of all, that's when I really realized it was a terrorist attack instead of just a freak fire. And number two, that's when I realized I had seen the same man before boarding.
What did he look like? Were his pants burned off, or what exactly did you notice?
At that point, I believe his legs were wrapped in a blanket, I believe.
Okay.
And
But you knew at that moment, you were 100% sure that was the same guy you saw in Amsterdam with the guy in the suit.
Well, being a lawyer, I never say anything's 100%, but we have a term in law that we use that's called beyond a reasonable doubt, and let's just say it was beyond a reasonable doubt.
I mean, you're betting your credibility on this.
My whole livelihood is on my good name.
Yeah.
I'm a self-employed attorney. And if I don't have a good name, I don't have an income.
Let me ask you: was there anyone else in the plane, Kurt, that looked even remotely like the suspect?
That's the thing. This was a plane full of European Caucasians, and I don't believe there was anyone that even remotely looked close to the suspect.
Has anyone tried to say to you yet, well, white people think all black people look the same? I mean, I hate to have to even bring that up, but...
Nobody said that to my face, although I read a couple comments on the internet like that.
But, I mean, there's really no mistaking. He's a young teenager. He sticks out because of his clothing. You've already noticed him in Amsterdam, so that called... So, I mean, really, it is beyond any doubt that this is the same guy.
He has a baby face. He looks like a kid. He just looks like... a skinny little teenager, like a runt. And, there weren't any people that really were even close to that description. So, yeah, I'm very confident that it's the same man.
I got a couple of key questions for you. I'm a little bit behind because I want you to paint this picture. And I just, again, greatly appreciate you spending time with us today. It's so important to get this all really straight here for our audience who's extremely interested in this story.
Okay.
Kurt, so now you've been taken off the plane. The terrorist is taken off first, the alleged terrorist.
Yeah.
You're taken off the plane, and what kind of debriefing is there? What happens next?
Well, we didn't get to the debriefing for a while. Okay, we were hauled into a baggage claim area of a terminal that they apparently had evacuated because we didn't see anybody else. A very large room in the basement, but we were all off to one side of it. And with our carry-on bags, by the way, which to me was another mistake by the FBI.
Right.
Why were we carrying these bags? Nobody knew if there was bomb in them or not. And let me remind you, the terrorist had already admitted to a flight attendant that he had an explosive device in his clothing while we were still on board.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is after that. We still have all our carry-on bags. Okay.
Which is a good analysis, especially with what you're about to tell us. But go ahead, yeah.
Okay. We're all forced to stand in the side area of the baggage claim area with our carry-on bags for about an hour, just standing there, no news, nothing going on, while they brought in some bomb-sniffing dogs, 3 of them. And the dogs went around to all of our carry-on bags one by one. And one of them found something. He sat down like he found a bomb in one of the carry-on bags of, again, I don't want to offend the Indian population, but it looked like another man from India.
Okay. Again, could have been
a younger
Pakistani,
man.
could have been Indian, sure.
Yeah, right. A younger man, around age 30.
Mm-hmm.
He was immediately hauled off to a room for interrogation. He was gone for about an hour. I saw him come out, and then he was immediately handcuffed and taken away. And then an FBI agent made the following statement. You all are being moved to another area. This area is unsafe. I'm sure that you saw just what happened a few minutes ago, and you can read between the lines. And then he marched us off to a long hallway, and we were taken out of the larger baggage claim area into this long, narrow hallway. When we were in the long, narrow hallway, the FBI did a couple things. Number one, an FBI agent came and said somebody's name, and I don't remember the name, but he said, whatever the name was, come up here immediately. And a 20-something Caucasian man nervously walked up, and they took him away. Not in handcuffs or anything, but just kind of escorted him out. I never saw him again or knew what his relevance was.
And again, tell me why they did that, if you could.
I'm sorry?
Why did they take... Now you have another man who they've kind of led away.
Yeah, he's just a 20-something Caucasian man. I don't know if there's any relevance to this or not. I'm just kind of giving you a play-by-play.
Sure.
Okay. A little while after that, a different FBI agent came and said the following. Whoever was taking videotape of this incident, we demand that you come forward immediately and turn over your video. Demanding it. And by the way, he didn't say, was there anyone that took any video? We'd like to see it. He said, whoever was taking it, we demand you turn it over now, very forcefully. Nobody came forward. Okay. And then, a couple hours had passed, and who I call the head FBI agent came by, and he made the following announcement. We believe we have those that are responsible for this in custody. Notice I said those and not the person or him. He made 2 other comments referring to the plural. I don't remember what those were exactly, but there were 3 in total. And then he kind of relaxed his attitude because the FBI had been very on edge up until this point, and he said, just very briefly, we're going to talk to each of the families quickly and get you guys out of here. And then they moved us back to the main baggage claim area that we were in the first place and started interviews family by family at that time.
How long did they keep you, and what was the basic text of the interview? I mean, what kind of questions were they asking you guys?
I would say our interview lasted about 15 minutes or so, and it was pretty general. Where were you coming from? Why were you on this flight?
Yeah.
What did you see? Can you explain it in detail?
And this is when you told them about what you saw in Amsterdam.
Exactly.
And what was their reaction, Kurt?
We were interviewing with one agent. He called another agent over to hear the story. And they just asked me to describe, the 2 individuals the best that I could. And I told them what I knew the best that I could. And they took our phone number and address and said, if we need anything further, we'll be in contact with you.
I want to pick up on that because yesterday you were interviewed again by the FBI. This, of course, after you're all over the media.
Correct.
They've now seen fit to go back and ask you a few more questions, which is nice of them to do that.
Too bad they weren't the right questions. But
well,
go ahead.
I want to get to that, but let's. I want to ask just a couple of more questions. You spoke of, whoever took the videotape, stand up now and turn over the videotape. Did you see? I want to ask you this when we come back. Did you see the person doing the videotape, and could you identify them?
Okay.
And can you also, kind of reaffirm the story from other witnesses that somebody was very calmly taking video both before, during, and after the event? Stay with us, Kurt, if you would. I got a couple of questions, and there's a breaking development in this story, which I'm sure you've heard. Apparently, Amsterdam is denying any knowledge of any of this. Stay with us, folks. Deadline Live. Kurt Haskell with us.